Are you looking to start a side hustle in 2023 but you don't know where to start because there's so many goddamn gurus out there telling you do this, do that, and then buy their fucking crypto scam? Well, let me show you which ones actually work, and I'll rank them from the easiest to get into to all the way to the hardest. So number one is becoming a freelance copywriter. So what does this mean? This basically means that you are going to be writing copy for businesses or blogs or videos or just a whole bunch of shit, but you charge for your services. Now this is super easy to get into because of the rise of ChatGPT, everybody's favorite. So basically, let's say that you find someone that's looking for a blog post about their cupcake company and they want to rank for best cupcakes locally, SEO wise. So then you're going to use ChatGPT to write a nice little blog for them and post it. So what are some pros to copywriting freelance? Number one is the low startup cost. Getting started with content writing is super cheap. This is obviously assuming that you have a phone or a computer to write with. The startup cost is roughly $50 to $100. This could be for hosting your website or any kind of miscellaneous costs. The second pro is that it's super easy to start, especially now in 2023, so you have no more excuses. Content writing can be one of the easiest things to start. All you need is a computer or a phone and you're basically all set. Number three is that it can be done remotely. One of the best parts about writing content is the fact that you can be traveling around the world. Like you could literally be in Italy and writing content for somebody in the States. Now, unfortunately, it does come with some cons. It's way too saturated. With the ease of startup, there's no wonder why everybody is doing this. The low cost and the ease of entry makes it super appealing to people to start getting started in this. The second is that it can get boring. Now, this is definitely a matter of opinion, so go easy on me in the comments. Personally, I find content writing super boring, but if you're a person that likes to write and you kind of do it in your free time, then why not get paid for it? And the third and last con is that it is easily replaceable. So with the rise of AI, it does look like it might be almost time for you content writers to look for a new job. However, you have to kind of put your own twist on it and make companies realize that you are valuable to them and not paying some robot to write it. Number two is social media management. So many people think that, why would I do that since starting an Instagram account and maintaining an Instagram account is so easy, I could just do it in my sleep, right? But here's the problem, is that business owners don't have the time or even the brain capacity to manage Instagram accounts, TikTok accounts, and YouTube accounts. Just not in their realm of possibilities. This is where you come in. So you can come in and say, hey, listen guys, I can take over and run your Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever, and I can run it for X amount a month. Usually people tend to charge anywhere from $1,500 to about $2,500 for this service, and then obviously you can add on different packages. So let's say that you charge them for Instagram and TikTok, but now they want YouTube and Facebook. Well, you can say, listen, I can add those two on for an extra $500 a month. It's an upsell. So some of the pros to this is that it is a low startup cost. Once again, we find a side hustle with a low startup cost. The startup cost for this ranges from $50 to $150. Getting started in this is super easy. If you know a lot of people who own a business, then it's super easy to get started with this. Your network is your net worth. Some cons to this is that it is very time consuming, but if you use apps like Later or Hootsuite, you can actually schedule the posts for weeks and months in advance. Basically have that do it for you, and then you can work on next month's posts. You know what I'm saying? So let's say that you need to post something in April. Well, you can schedule it in March to post for April. Con number two is that it is very easy to start up and everybody kind of has the ability to do this. So if you take side hustle number one and side hustle number two and pair it together where you're doing content creation and social media management, now that could definitely be a recipe for a successful business. Since the content creation is looking for an upsell, I could definitely see the social media management being an upsell that you could offer to companies or whoever you're working with, obviously. Side hustle number 3 is Instagram influencer. The influencer market is difficult to get into because it's so goddamn competitive. However, improving your posting skills and posting more frequently can help you beat out the competition. Here's something to keep in mind as well. Influencers do not make money off of posting. They make money off of brand deals. If you continue to post and grow your following, you will then be more likely to get a brand deal from somebody that is higher up that would be looking for your services. I know personally, because I've run multiple e-commerce stores, these people, influencer marketers, it's a very lucrative business because it costs you absolutely nothing and the return is so great. Also, sometimes they'll give you the product in conjunction with a nice little bag of cash, and that is always the best deal. So some of the pros is that the pay is great. Compared to the work that you'll be doing, the pay is terrific. Some businesses pay anywhere between $1,000 to $10,000 a post. I'm not too sure if you guys ever seen the Fyre Festival movie, but they paid Kylie Jenner $250,000 for one post. Pro number 2 is that you get paid to do some pretty cool shit. I mean, sometimes they'll pay for your whole fucking vacation just because you're promoting their product. So some cons to this is obviously that it is super competitive. Now with the rise of TikTok, becoming an influencer is tough to get into because you kind of have to position yourself in a better spot than your competition. Hopefully that makes sense. Also, if you guys want me to do any more videos like in depth based off of these side hustles, please let me know in the comments which ones you'd be interested in seeing, because I love making videos and I would like some ideas from you guys. Side hustle number 4 is e-commerce. Would it actually be a side hustle video without the mention of e-commerce? There's a reason why people are mentioning e-commerce. It's because it's so damn lucrative, and I personally love it. It's not for everybody because there are a lot of moving parts, and you kind of got to be on your toes and know what you're doing, because you can either make a lot of money or lose a lot of money, which I've seen a lot of people do, and that is not what we are here to do. We're not trying to lose money, we're trying to make money. Now, I don't want to be one of those cringy people that say, oh, e-commerce changed my life, but it did, and I love it because of how passive and lucrative it is, so it's definitely worth looking into. So some pros about e-commerce is that it is the most passive. You only really need to set it up once and check it every 2 or 3 days just to make sure you're still profitable, obviously. Pro number 2 is that it is very lucrative. When I started e-com, I had my first 10K month in the first 3 months of getting started. Then in November of that year, so now November is Black Friday, but November of that year, I did $85,000 in sales in 1 month. And now that is USD and I am Canadian, so that was a bag. Some cons to e-commerce, because it is not all sunshine and rainbows. There is a high startup cost. Getting started in e-commerce is not cheap, unfortunately. You have to spend money on ads, product, and a website. I would estimate that this would cost anywhere around from $500 to $1,000, but it could go a lot more than that depending on how you do it. Con number 2 is that it is time consuming. So what I mean by time consuming is right out the gate, it's the most time consuming. So you could spend about 6 or 7 hours a day just setting up your store and grinding it out. But once you get it going and your ads are profitable, then that's when you can check it every 2 or 3 days. The last and final hustle that I am trying to start today is a YouTube channel. Yes, I've always wanted to do a YouTube channel my entire life, and I feel like I have some pretty cool things to talk about. But if I don't and you guys don't like it, please give me some topics that you want to hear. I'm open to suggestions, obviously. I will say this, YouTube is notoriously known to be very competitive. So you got to look at a few things when getting started in YouTube. You have to look at the algorithm, how that works. So I watched this really cool video the other day on what the algorithm looks for, and now they're looking for average view duration and CTRs, which is the click-through rate, which kind of makes sense because YouTube wants people to stay on their platform so they can keep getting ad revenue through the digital marketers, which are the e-commerce guys. So, it's all one big full circle. Some pros are YouTube videos are actually kind of fun to make. I personally like talking to a camera because I have very few friends, so this camera is pretty nice to talk to. Wow, that was a lot more depressing than I thought. The second pro to YouTube is that it is decently passive. So what do I mean by decently passive? This means that you have to keep a consistent posting schedule, but if you can videotape them, edit them, and then schedule them, then you will have more free time to do what you would like to do rather than what you have to do. Con number one is that it is difficult to start. I mean, people think that it's super easy to start, but it's not. It's really not. It's hard to edit and come up with video ideas, script. Like, there's just so much more that goes into a YouTube video than what you see. Con number two is that it does not pay immediately. So if you're looking for that quick cash, then YouTube is unfortunately not where you want to be. But if you're looking to build a community of people or like-minded individuals and you kind of just want to have fun, then maybe look into YouTube, and then eventually the cash will come. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, is like I just kind of want to grow an audience and try to inspire young professionals to get into the business space. Alrighty guys, here is my ranking from the 5th. I don't want to say worst, but the 5th all the way to the 1st, because there are definitely a lot worse side hustles out there. But here's my ranking. So I'm ranking it based off of how easy it is to start and how immediately it works. So number 5 is freelancing. I mean, that wasn't a surprise. I mean, come on. It's gonna be replaced by robots anyway. So, I mean, if you can pair up the freelancing, but that's a whole different video. Sorry, I get too excited about this. Coming in at number 4 is a YouTube channel. Yes, a YouTube channel is fun to create, but fun does not pay the bills unless you like what you're doing. For a YouTube channel, it takes a while, and we're looking to get that instant bag. Like, we're not here to mess around. Coming in at number 3, we have an Instagram influencer. Influencers make bags off of just posting and posting stories and this and that, like crazy money. But to get started, and it is not immediate, and also to get started, it is super competitive, especially with the rise of TikTok. And now you got TikTok and Instagram, which influencers better, where, it's just a whole clusterfuck of just shit. So coming in at number 2 is a social media management. This one would be higher up on my list if you know business owners. It is super easy to get into it if you already have the clientele at your disposal. You simply just need to send out an email saying, hey, look, this is what I do, blah, 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 go from there, right? But to get started in it right now, I find is very difficult. And coming in at number 1 is e-commerce. Now, there is a reason why there are countless side hustle videos with e-commerce in the title, or that's why e-commerce is so connected with side hustles, is because it's super easy to start and the money's fast. It comes in as soon as you put out your first ad. Like, I've seen instant results. Like, within 10 minutes of my ads being approved, I'd get a sale. But does that mean it's the best? Depends on who you are. Now, this list, my ranking list, is all subjective to what I like. For you, it might be different. Everyone has different scenarios, but I hope that this video shined a bit of light on what kind of side hustles are out there now in 2023, because there's just so many different things to think about in the side hustle world, and Hopefully you guys found value in this, and if you did, feel free to drop a like, or if you hated it, dislike it, I guess. I mean, not hurt my feelings. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for the next video. Peace.